you all. We're here at the SUNBELT AG EXPO. We're with Dr. James E. Brown. Doctor, pleasure to have you here. How are you?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Nice. Happy to be here with you too.
Thank you.
We'd like to understand first what inspired you to pursue a career in the agriculture.
Because it was my passion. I grew up on a farm, had no idea that I would continue to work in this particular area. That's the best thing ever happened to me.
Doctor, what makes soil nutrition such a critical factor for farmers?
Plants need to fully uptake all of the nutrients. If there's some deficiency in the amount of nutrients, will there be a deficiency in the person that actually feed from the plants, what have you.
For example, do sandy soils or high rainfall, do they create nutrient difficulties here?
Sandy soil will create nutrient deficiency if you don't have sufficient amount of the other two particles, the clay and the silt. So, like anything else, if you got too much sand, well, then you have deficiency in the basic nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and other essential elements as well.
When we talk about nutrition, many people think about fertilizers, but I think it's much broader than that. What do you think, or how would you define the nutrition?
With respect to the intake by the human, is that what you mean?
Yeah, let's say as general, how would you define nutrition today?
Well, nutrition, it's fine if you get if the person intake the right amount of nutrients. The plants themselves have to be sufficient in the nutrients so that the person who intakes the plant will have sufficient amount of nutrients. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you do a good job, take soil samples and make sure that there's sufficient amount of nutrient in the soil before you put the seed in the ground or the transplant in the ground. And as a result, when the person comes along to feed on the plant, well, then the person will be able to uptake and intake the right amount of nutrients.
For example, I understand there's several micronutrients in soils. Let's say, for example, zinc, magnesium, or manganese. What impact do these have in the fields?
As long as you got the right pH, and as long as you got the right ratio of sand particles, and if you put the right amount of those nutrients in the soil, within, there should not be any deficiency with respect to the uptake or intake by the human who consume these plants.
What signs does a farmer see when there's deficiencies in the field?
Well, one would know that there's a deficiency in the soil by looking at the plant, but you need to know what deficiency symptoms are. If you can look at the plant, if you recognize the deficiency symptom, that's an indication that you don't have enough the basic nutrients in the soil. And ultimately, when the person eats the produce or the vegetable, well, then there'll be deficiency in the person who intakes it,
right?
The product or the produce.
Just before closing, because we're short of time, I would like to know, how do you see the agriculture ahead of us? Let's say, for example, in 10 years. How do you see the future of agriculture?
I think there's a great opportunity right now for agriculture I use the term blossom, to continue to increase, especially in the southeastern part of the United States, because of the changes in the government policies. For example, right now, you can classify a small farmer as a person who has a farm at least 1/10 of an acre. 43,560 square feet on an acre constitute an acre. So if a person owns 1/10 of that acre, then that person is classified as a small farmer, which means that they are able to receive credit and receive benefit from the government on a small amount of area in comparison to what has taken place in the past.
Okay. Well, there you have it, pals. Did you know all these facts about soil nutrition? Doctor, it's been a pleasure to interview you.
You need to do it over again, let me know. No problem.
Yeah, thank you very much for the space. Hope we have contact with this first approach. And it was a pleasure to talk with you, speaking with you.
Thank you so much.
Did you know all these facts, pal? So hope you subscribe to our channel and follow us on our social media. Thank you very much.